Hi all you beautiful people. This is more about food, and it's wonderful, I feel, how I'm just being guided to go more deeply into each area of our lives. So thank you for being there, and I'm so grateful that you can use this. It just is I feel very honored that you can use this in your life. And as I've said so many times, I feel we're all in the same boat. We're all going through the same things. It's not, we're not alone. And food is a very, very big part of our lives, and just have a cough. Food is a very emotional thing, and it is very much connected to love. Because the first time we ever had some food, for the most of us, we were sucking on our mother's breast. So connecting and food, love, it is all very deeply connected. And for some of us, and many of us, really, the whole connection with our mother and father, and the fact that we actually came to earth was actually very stressful. So the very beginning of our existence here on this planet has, for many of us, been very stressful. So just actually taking food in and nourishing ourselves, for some of us, is actually not a very easy thing. So the more we can unravel and uncover all the emotions that are connected to our relationship to food, the quicker we're going to feel better and we're going to heal. So it's really, really good to realize this. So if you're into muscle testing, and also if you have a private session with me, I'll talk more about this. We can very quickly go into which emotions are connected to your relationship to food. So, but if you're learning it yourself, the muscle testing, see, because in a private session I can muscle test you. So because we're all connected with energy, so there is really no time and space. So, but anyway, if you're learning it yourself, you can actually just say the word food and see if it stresses you. And maybe it does. See, so realizing that our emotions are vital to focus on when we want to understand which foods are good for us. So, and as we grow spiritually, as we move on this path, I've written a whole lot of things down, so it might be a bit messy. We do feel bad sometimes. We might be eating the perfect food for us, but we still feel bad. And then comes the worry, and the oh no, what have I done wrong? So just to tell you that what I experience, and your path is unique, so you might not feel this, but most of us on the spiritual path feel tiredness, exhaustion, nausea, pain, strange feelings in the head. There is a list of symptoms that you might experience, and they have nothing to do with what you've just eaten. So feeling unwell and tired and having strange sensations in your body is completely normal as you go on this path. So going back to the food we eat, for the ones of us who've been very sensitive and who have been unwell in our gut for a long time, we've tried many different diets and ways of eating. And so even though we might not have stress from our early childhood about food, we might have become very stressed, and I know that from myself because I've tried everything. I've tried eating 30 bananas a day for a month. I've tried every single thing on this planet. And so I got to a point, which I've mentioned before, when I started drinking the raw milk, where I was just, the food stressed me so much. And the whole thought of having to make a meal for myself was actually an enormously stressful thing. And so if you reach that point, all you really need to focus on is to start to relax and to trust that you are going to find foods that are going to make you feel good. And so the whole thing of, oh, I need to find a new diet and quickly start that diet is usually not the way to go as it is right now. Because really, deep down, it's really not the food that's healing us. So, just to tell you that stress is very important to work our way through. So, the more we can do, if you sense that food and stress are very combined for you, because you've been through so much, and you have a feeling that if you just find a new diet, everything's going to be fine, work on your stress, work on your feelings. See, where is it that I'm not loving myself enough? Where is it? And you can just start from the very beginning. What's stressing me right now? Start focusing on the breath, which we'll talk more about. Just start to breathe. Find one of my videos that you feel is relaxing, or anything else that you feel is relaxing, and tell yourself all is well, and that you are loved, and that there is nothing to fear. So this whole journey of finding the right food and the stress that we're experiencing is also a test for us to not fear. Because we're being trained on this journey of awakening. We're being trained, and it's very hard, it's very challenging, because we have to become very strong. This is not easy, and the reason why it's not easy is because we need this very, very, it's a very, it's a transformation we're going through. And we're getting to reconnect with our enormous, endless power. And you don't get to reconnect with it without being challenged. We have to, it's like, we just have to keep moving forward. And one of the biggest challenges there is for us is when the fear comes, and to keep reminding ourselves that fear is something we have to say goodbye to. So no matter what our situation is, and it can be very difficult. Maybe some of us are dying. We have been given a diagnosis, and we have a feeling we're dying. Our body's going to leave this planet soon. There can be so much fear. It can be children that are suffering a lot. And all the fear that we experience, it is vital that we learn we learn to switch the fear, or we learn to let go of the fear and feel that behind the fear there's only love. And what can help you when you feel the stress and the fear coming is to come into gratitude. Just feel how you feel grateful just in this very moment. Find something, this I know makes me feel so grateful. And very quickly you'll feel the fear, because the fear is going to try to come and grab you. It's the dark force that wants to keep you in its power. And when you deliberately and consciously say, oh no, that's right, fear is not my way, it's not my path, it does not bring me back to my power, it takes my power away. So no matter which situation it is, but this is mainly about food, when the fear comes, consciously let it go. And Louise Hay had this beautiful, beautiful little saying, I wrap it up in the pink of love and set it free. Just set the fear free, because you know it's really only something that's made up. It's only lack of love. So set it free, remind yourself that you're what you're grateful of, and remind yourself that you're exactly where you're meant to be, because you're becoming the master that you really are. You're returning to your greatness, and it's only trying you. The fear is only trying you. So it's going to come in. It comes in waves. And I know it from myself. I was just saying the other day, I don't worry. It's not true. I worry. It's a part of life. It's just that it gets easier and easier. You'll experience less and less worry, but it still keeps coming. So I just had with my animals, and it's spring, and there's not so much feed left, and is there enough feed? And I get all worried. And I know that I have to let it go, because of course there's enough feed. Of course everything's okay. And life keeps reminding me. So when the fear comes, it tries to remind us, tries to tell us that we're living in a very unsafe world, and we're not. The world, and all the world around us, is benevolent. We're living on a benevolent planet. There is only love. And you are benevolent, you are love. So it's all love. There is no fear. It's made up. So when we let go of the fear and we allow ourselves to sense this, oh, that's right, all is well. I am really eternal. I'm never going to die anyway. I'm right here, and I'm actually helping maybe many people around me. I'm making a difference on this planet. I'm so valuable, and I'm so grateful for life. And you start coming out of the darkness and back into the light, and you feel good again. And now you can go back to your food. So, okay, as I've mentioned, some people are not eating. So food is really, we think we need all this food, and food is so important, but really the more we lift our vibration, the less important food is. And this is very, very hard for the mind to grasp. How can anyone live without food? Well, they can. Because our bodies are actually built to not need food. And that's where we're going. And that's why we're experiencing so much change. So some people have said that as we move into this process more and more, we'll feel more like liquids. So we're not so drawn to these big, heavy, enormous meals with all this stuff. We want it lighter, we want it softer, we want it more gentle, and so we like liquids more. And I feel that with my milk. And there are also juices. Some people love juices, and if you really feel, that's what's so important, feel the love, feel how it makes you feel good. It's when the mind says you have to drink your juice and you must do, that's when it gets not good for us, because we get caught. It's really in the darkness again. So always sense, does this make me feel good and peaceful? Does this make me feel peaceful? Drinking this milk, drinking this yogurt, drinking this juice, then do it. There's also the broth. If you get this good feeling from the broth, drink the broth. And we get nourished that way. So we're moving into more liquid for some of us. And then as we've been using the liquids, we won't feel so much like food. And we'll get to a place when food is something we enjoy, but we don't need it anymore. And that can sound so strange. How can that be? Well, I haven't felt it yet because I need a lot of food. But I just say, oh well, if that's what's meant to be, what's going to happen, that'll be fun. And it'll be wonderful for the earth, because we won't need to make all that food. It won't be important. And so we get to the whole thing of nourishment, and as you sense already in your life, the light, that there is so much that's feeding your body, not only food. So there's the water that nourishes you. When you drink water, when you bathe in water, you swim in a lake, in the ocean, it nourishes you through the skin. The air is nourishing us. Our breath is nourishing us. And I'm going to make a video about the breath. I know for myself, I'm not breathing deeply enough. Just breathing deeply is vital. When we stop breathing, we die very quickly. The body is using all this oxygen, and just breathing deeply nourishes us. It cleanses and detoxifies us. It brings us back to our soul. We become very connected. So the breath is so important. Being in nature, being among animals, being with someone who's very healthy for you to be with, it nourishes your body and your soul. It's nourishing. So we're getting our nourishment in many more ways than just through the food. And that's also very important to, and we will feel this the more we come into our soul, the more all this wisdom arises. Oh, that's right. I need to go out and just be in nature because it makes me feel so good. I get red cheeks and I just feel so alive because I'm being nourished spiritually, emotionally, physically. I'm being nourished on all levels when I go into nature. Just sit by a tree, look into the sky. It's nourishment too. So, yeah. So, and another thing that nourishes us is rest. Very, very, I mean, vitally important. You sleep, and you sleep well at night. So don't eat too late. And if you need something, have some liquid. So you sleep really well. Make sure that you make it really comfy. I mean, I love my bed. I just burst into laughter when I jump into bed at night. And I have found myself, I made on the old channel about lying on wool, and I have a beautiful wool doona. It's actually a doona. It's woolen and it's soft. It's not for some people who are very, very sensitive, but I just love that, a woolen blanket. And I know I hardly ever have to wash it because it's self-cleaning. I can just hang it in the sun and just lying on that woolen blanket with my pillow and with I've got 3 doonas on top of me. Lying there, I feel so joyful. And of course it's my body, my soul telling me this is so good for you, lying here and just going into your sleep, relaxing. And during the day, as you know, I lie down, relax, lie in the sun, sunbathe. Very, very nourishing, detoxifying, brings us back to our soul, connects us with the earth. We become more grounded when we rest. So, food is actually not only what we chew and swallow. Food is many, many things. So this is very much really about nourishment, that we are being nourished. And the last thing I wrote here was, I love my food and my food loves me. So what you eat, what you decide to eat, connect with it and remind yourself that this is a benevolent little thing, being, a little piece of steak, a glass of water, whatever it is. It's benevolent, it loves you, and you love it. And when you feel this love, of course it's going to be good for you. So it's really, this is all about moving out of our mind and into our heart. Being these heart-centered beings. And understanding that all is well. All is well. So, yeah, this was wonderful. So have a really, really beautiful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.